State Fair of Texas opens in less than 3 days. With the fight over concealed weapons still unresolved, we have the latest.
Construction woes continue for those of us who have to drive around Denton. We'll show you the newest setback on our city's streets.
Rydell High comes to life right here in Denton. We'll go behind the scenes of the production of Grease that's on stage now.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining ntTV News at Noon. I'm Manisa Bender.
And I'm Landry Brady. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's push to allow guns at the state fair is not over. He filed an appeal after the policy prohibiting firearms at the fair was temporarily halted. Last week, a district judge rejected Paxton's request for a temporary injunction. The fair has made the policy change after a man shot 3 people at the fairgrounds last year, claiming self-defense. The state asked for an accelerated appeal to get this solved before the fair begins on Friday. It's not clear when the appeals court will make the decision.
Today, President Biden spoke to world leaders at the United Nations General Assembly. It was his final address to the UN before he leaves office. Mr. Biden stressed the need for unity among countries around the world. He highlighted the challenges of the war in Ukraine and concerns about China's influence. He also focused heavily on the war in Gaza, as well as the increasing violence in Lebanon.
Even if the situation has escalated, a diplomatic solution is still possible. In fact, it remains the only path to lasting security to allow the residents from both countries to return to their homes and the border safely. And that's what we're working tirelessly to achieve.
UN members have been pressing Israel to end its occupation of Palestinian territories within 12 months. The UN Security Council will meet with Ukraine's president during this General Assembly.
I've been loving this cooler weather that we've been having this week.
Me too, Landry. I hope that it sticks around. Our weather anchor, Christian Bursuch, has more on what to expect.
Thank you. So as we can see today, it's looking pretty cool outside, 77 degrees and it feels like 80, and the wind speed is only 4 miles an hour. So if you wanted to get outside, maybe walk your dog, maybe have a nice drink out on the patio, today is definitely a great day to do that. And if you like the heat, you might want to go outside today because it's looking like that it's actually going to be one of the last hot days of the year as we start to get into fall. Tonight, going to feel like 86 degrees, but actually feel a bit hotter at 90 degrees. But the wind will stay slow, so again, not going to be too rough of a night here in North Texas. Tomorrow, though, it's going to, again, feel pretty cool, 76 degrees. It'll feel like 80, but the wind's going to pick up a little bit tomorrow. It'll be a little faster than it was today, so maybe not as beautiful as today, but still going to feel very cool tomorrow. Then as we get into tomorrow night, let's see. Moving on. Back to the desk. I'm sorry about that.
Thanks, Christian. If you're hoping to buy a home, there is more bad news. Prices hit another record high in July, but there may be some hope coming very soon. First, the bad news. House prices went up 0.1% from June, but the overall trend of the prices is slowing down. Experts think we are starting to see a positive trend as mortgage rates start to fall and supply improves. The Federal Reserve's decision to cut interest rates last week could also make it easier to borrow money to buy a home.
If you drive around downtown Denton, you've seen the recent efforts to improve the roads. But unfortunately, it appears there's been a setback. Our reporter Chloe Marshall is live at the downtown square with a look at the new problem. Chloe?
Thanks. Navigating the streets lately have been a bit confusing. With roads under construction and street closures here almost on every street corner in Denton, some work that was thought to be finished will begin once again. Roads here to Denton Square are set to close again after TxDOT found issue with newly laid asphalt at the Locals in Elm Street. Despite reopening early, the top 3 inches of asphalt will be removed and replaced. The good news is that it shouldn't take much longer and expected to be finished by the end of this month. Well, that's all I have for you guys. Back to you at the front desk.
Thanks, Chloe. The U.S. presidential election is not until November, but here at UNT, a new president is already on the job. Harrison Keller was appointed to the job earlier this semester. This week, ntTV is getting to hear from Keller about his first few weeks on campus. He told our Avery Callens why he wanted to go from being a statewide to a university-wide leader.
With your experience, you made decisions for the whole state right before you came here with budgets and everything. Why decide to come to one institution in particular?
Well, a couple of things. First is I really enjoyed serving as the Commissioner of Higher Education for the state, and that was a great opportunity. I was honored to get to serve the state of Texas, and I did that for almost 5 years. But this opportunity to come to North Texas for me was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'd gotten to know folks at the university when I had been commissioner, because the UNT was a partner in a number of our initiatives, especially around digital learning, and also in some of our student success initiatives. And so through that work, I got to know some of the folks here, and was really impressed by the openness to innovation here. Also, I got to know Chancellor Williams when he was president of the Health Science Center, and we sort of hit it off. And so you just don't find that many institutions that are so open to innovation, so open to doing things differently, where you've got strong support from your system leadership. We have a terrific board that is much more open than you see at a lot of boards of regents across the state and across the nation. So for me, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and there's no place I'd rather be.
We'll have much more from President Keller coming up in tonight of the 2-part series, Meet the President. That's coming on ntTV Nightly News shows at 6 o'clock.
Coming up, several states are preparing for a storm that could cause major damage. We have a look at what may be soon called Hurricane Helene.
And there may be a fun and easy way for people to take care of their mental health. We'll show you what researchers say can help.
Craving something fresh, flavorful, and made just for you? Look no further than Avesta, your go-to destination for a delicious, full-service dining experience. Dive into our customizable omelets, expertly crafted by our talented cook Jonathan, who guarantees every bite is perfection. All our dishes are handmade, prepared with only the freshest ingredients. Explore our assembly line, where you can choose from any of our globally inspired dishes, or customize your plate. It's that easy. And let's not forget dessert. Indulge your sweet tooth with treats from Clark Bakery. With convenient payment methods including card or flex, it's the perfect dining spot for any occasion. Quench your thirst with our wide selection of drinks. Just hand your drinking card to our friendly waiter, and they'll bring your beverage of choice right to your table. When you're done savoring every last bite, our attentive staff will whisk away your tray. Enjoy the peaceful ambiance as you dine in, or use our takeout option for a meal on the go. Avesta.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike! My bike is gone!
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
A hurricane watch has been issued for Florida's Gulf Coast ahead of the tropical storm Helene. The storm system was upgraded to a tropical storm earlier this morning, and it is expected to rapidly intensify to hurricane strength as it enters the Gulf of Mexico. The National Hurricane Center predicts that it'll make landfall as a Category 3 storm between Tampa and Panama City either late Thursday or early Friday.
I'm glad that we do not have to deal with any of this hurricane weather here in Texas.
I agree, but we did have some rain earlier this week. Our weather anchor Christian Bursuch is back to tell us more.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, definitely no hurricane here. As we see in North Texas, we got a lot of cool temperatures here. Not what we've been having recently. The only 80 we see is Paris up there east. So as we come into DFW, it gets mid to high 70s. We got Fort Worth at 78, Dallas 75 degrees, and Denton at a cool 77. As we go further west, we have Graham and Stephenville. Stephenville down there is a little hot at 77 degrees. But Graham at 74, it's feeling great over there. As we zoom out into Texas as a whole, we have Oklahoma City up there. It's very cool, 69 degrees, but we're not worried about that here in Texas. We have 77 in Denton, 78 in Abilene, and up in the Panhandle, 78 degrees. It's feeling good, but down in Houston, 88 degrees, 83 in Austin. The further south you go, the hotter it gets, but luckily we are up here in North Texas. But yeah, that's all we have for the weather. Thanks. Back to y'all at the desk. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. For the weekly forecast, before we move on, tomorrow it's going to stay cool like it is. We got 82 on tomorrow and Thursday. Friday, as we go through in the weekend, it starts to get a little warm again. Friday's a cool day. The clouds covering the sun. But on the weekend, it starts to get a little warmer. Sunday, the sun's back in the sky, 83 degrees. And then Monday, when the week hits, it's going to be a little hot again, but bear with it. The fall is coming, and once we get out of this next week, it'll be low to mid-80s for the rest of the month. And yeah, that's back to the desk.
Thanks, Christian. Elon Musk is adding another X to Texas. X, formerly known as Twitter, is moving its way to Bass Strip, just 30 miles from Austin. Last month, X's CEO sent emails to its employees informing them that the San Francisco offices will be closing over the next couple of weeks. Musk coming to Texas is nothing new. The Tesla headquarters are located in Austin, and SpaceX is slowly making its way from California to Boca Chica, Texas. Also on social media, Instagram is making big changes aimed at protecting users in the platform. The teen account setting is taking effect today. Accounts for users under the age of 18 are now automatically set to private and placed in the most strict messaging settings. That means that most users aren't allowed to message and interact with people that they're friends with. The changes come nearly 3 years after Instagram's parent company Meta came under fire about the risk that social media platforms pose on children. Pressure ramped up against last year again after a whistleblower said Meta's top executives ignored warnings about these dangers for years.
Many people have begun to take their mental well-being into their own hands. Our reporter Cynthia Mendoza is here with a look at how crafting is being used as a way to improve mental health. Cynthia?
That's right, Marisa. A recent study found making arts and crafts can improve your mental health as much as having a job. It has been shown to reduce stress hormones and improve your overall well-being. CNN reporter Michael Yoshida shows us how you can incorporate its findings into your own life.
A new study in the United Kingdom finds making arts and crafts improves your well-being, even more than having a job.
They were more satisfied with their lives, they were happier, and they had more of a sense that their lives were worthwhile.
The study analyzed answers from more than 7,000 people who took part in a national survey in the UK between 2019 and 2020, when researchers factored in things like gender, age, financial stability, and even employment. Creative activities still boosted well-being to a greater degree.
This initially surprised us because we would think, being in employment is really linked to your sense that your life is worthwhile, for a lot of us anyway. So when you're crafting, you're often engaged in quite kind of mindful activity. You really have this sense of mastery or control.
Arts and crafts have been a part of the healthcare world for decades. In Minnesota, Arizona, and Florida, Mayo Clinic offers humanities and medicine programs for enjoyment and inpatient care. It includes things like arts at the bedside, with musicians, artists, writers, and more.
Really any type of creative outlet that you can think of that will be a benefit to the patient, but also we find that it provides a lot of value and benefit to their visitors and their loved ones who are with them as well.
In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
This study did not find a link between arts and crafts and decreased levels of anxiety or loneliness. Researchers say this requires further investigation. That's all I have. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Cynthia. Coming up, Halloween is approaching fast, and people here in Denton are already celebrating spooky season. We'll show you how.
And you can catch some greased lightning on a stage here in Denton. I'll take you behind the scenes of this exciting production.
Hey Alex, this guy on the internet says he wants to give me money.
That sounds suspicious.
What do you mean?
Typically, strangers who promise you money on the internet have their own best interest in mind. They often use bounced checks, which will disappear shortly after depositing, but not before they've asked for some money in return.
So he doesn't really want to spoil me?
No.
Well, then what should I do?
The best way to handle it is to block and report the suspicious message, or even consult local law enforcement if you've already fallen victim.
So I guess we aren't going to Key West for spring break.
No.
It's hard to believe that October is only 1 week away. Here at ntTV, we're all excited about spooky season. But it looks like our segment reporter, Adriana Rivera, is starting early this year. Adriana, can you tell us more?
Thanks, Landry. That's right. I had an amazing time this past weekend at Anderson's. I met a lot of talented people and had the chance to check out their work. Anderson's Bar and Distillery is located right down the street from UNT. I got to go out this past weekend and interview a few people from the DAPC Friday the 13th event. I also got to interview the general manager, Mr. Corey Anderson, and here's what he had to say about the entire thing.
First of all, I think we're really proud of how much we've been able to be involved with the community. We've hosted a number of nonprofits. We've done all these nice vendor markets. We're teaming up with local artists, local bands. We really love that. We're really proud of that. For specific, just in-premise, stuff, we're really proud of how our spirits come out, and and we're really proud of our food.
Not only does Anderson's bring in friends and family together, they also bring in smaller groups and smaller communities into their establishment to make them feel welcomed and well appreciated. Here's how Ashley Westbrook felt.
Oh, I just think having more fun events, making a big space for the witchy, spooky kind of goth community. Like we, don't have a lot of places in the world, so it's nice to have these fun pop-ups.
The DAPC was an amazing, well-worth trip to go to and hang out at. There were all types of vendors for all your spooky needs, and also a fun time out to bond with similar people who have the same interest as you. Here's Neon Crystals.
Really, and before that, I was the kid putting rocks in my pocket, right? So it's always kind of been a love of nature for me. And then, I just kind of had an overflowing collection. I was like, I just want to share this with the world. I made some really good relationships with people overseas. And then I just started putting it in my art too. And I don't know, it's a connection to the world.
Besides live vendors, there was also live music there at the event. Here's a snippet. With the event coming to an end, here is what Mr. Anderson had to say to his community.
We want to be as welcoming of a space as possible. We accept everybody here. We want everybody to have a good time, and we think that, alcohol is the best way to unite people.
With ntTV, I am Adriana Rivera.
I hope all of you are more excited for October to come. Also, if you miss out on this event, Anderson's has plenty of other events to come within the next couple of months. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Adriana. If you find yourself bored this week, Theater Denton has the solution to your troubles. With its production of Grease, I got the chance to see this fantastic show and to get a behind-the-scenes look at this classic production. Let's take a look.
Hi, my name is Kristen Rydell, and I am one of the directors for Grease, the musical here at the Campus Theater. So this is my third show to direct here at Theater Denton, and I am a school teacher, and I direct about 3 shows a year there. And I also have been doing theater as an actor, performer, technician, director ever since I can remember. Grease is a show that has often been scrutinized because people think it is about a woman who changes herself for a man. So we have taken the show and given her back her power so that she changes herself for herself and not for someone else. Now, we didn't change the script, but we just looked at the script from a different angle.
Hi, I'm Nancy Chumley. I am the costumer for Grease for Theater Denton. I think working with the actors themselves, they're just a great bunch of people, and working with Kristen, she had ideas of what she wanted in the show, and I worked really hard to bring it to life. I think when you see Grease Lightning, you're going to see a totally different element, and I'm not going to go into that because it's a surprise. But it's just been a lot of work, and I have a team that helps me. I don't do it all by myself, and it's just fun, and I love period work. The music will just knock the socks off of you. You can't sit still and listen to the music. The actors have gorgeous voices, and the set is just amazing.
That production looked so fun. I'm definitely gonna have to check it out later this week.
You definitely will have to check it out. But you know what was even more fun? The UNT football game this Saturday, where they definitely redeemed themselves from the past weekend.
They sure did. It was definitely an easier game to watch than the last one. I'm sure sports anchor Christian has more to say on the topic. Christian?
Thanks, guys. There was a lot of football to watch over the weekend. I'll have a recap of that. And I also got an exclusive look at our UNT men's basketball squad this season. I'll show you that after the break.
Good evening, my name is Amanda Hasbell, and I'm joining you here today in the Union Parking Garage. Today we're going to be going over how to drive safely in the parking garage. Let's go see. Oh my God! Oh my God! This girl just got hit by a car. Let's go see what happened. Ma'am, are you okay? Are you okay?
Did you see that lady hit me with a car?
Yeah, we did. I got it all on video.
Oh my God.
Let's go over here and talk about how we can prevent that.
Yeah, not the hospital.
Well, right now we're going to ask you a couple questions on how we can drive safely in the parking lot. What are ways that we can be aware of our surroundings?
Oh, we can look both ways.
Jenna, also, how about putting the distractions away?
Yes, just like our phones, turning our music down, and also not focusing on our passengers.
Where can you get information on how to get a parking pass?
Transportation.unt.edu.
If you park in a garage, make sure you pay on the app or look for further instructions on how you should pay.
And remember, no pass, no park. Let's all try to keep our mean green community safe.
Remember, we're all in this together.
Drive safe.
The Cowboys couldn't get back into the win column against the Ravens, but our Mean Green football team was able to get back on track against Wyoming. Chandler Morris let the ball fly all night, throwing for over 300 yards on the ground. Shane Porter could not be stopped in front of the UNT crowd, rushing for 120 yards on only 13 attempts. The Mean Green moved to 3-1 after the win. They'll begin conference play at home next week against a surging Tulsa offense. The Cowboys will look to change their luck Thursday night against the Giants after back-to-back losses. The Cowboys' run game has struggled this season, but they'll look to fix that against a weak Giants defense in New York. In the basketball world, college athletes are preparing every day for the upcoming season. I had the chance to meet men's basketball coach Ross Hodge and Florida Atlantic transfer Brennan Laurent after practice to talk about the upcoming UNT season.
UNT basketball is looking to make some noise in the American Conference this season. In his first season as head coach, Ross Hodge led his team to the second round of the National Invitational Tournament despite an injury-plagued season. Now back at full health, with some new faces through the transfer portal, Coach Hodge and the Mean Green are ready to take the next step.
Definitely a work in progress. The guys have came together through the summer and they've really connected well off the floor and they've built some strong bonds, and now it's just trying to figure out how we're going to win together on the floor.
I asked Coach Hodge about Florida Atlantic transfer Brennan Laurent and what he felt Laurent could bring to the table.
Yeah, I mean, they've obviously has Final Four experience and went back to the NCAA tournament, and he's such a freak athlete. He's so talented, and now it's just learning how to be more consistent over longer periods of time while increasing his role.
After my talk with Coach Hodge, I was able to speak with Brennan Laurent myself. Laurent is a 6'9" forward from the state of Florida who comes to UNT after 2 successful years at FAU. I started by asking Laurent how he's enjoyed the state of Texas so far.
Texas treating me good, man. It's real hot, like Florida, and I love it. It's great.
I then asked Laurent about his experience on the floor in March Madness. In 2024, Laurent appeared in round 1 against Northwestern with FAU.
I wouldn't say overwhelming, but it's definitely a step up from what conference play is.
Laurent then told me what he wants to contribute to this team on the court.
Man, I just want to be that dog factor, that X factor, that keep us going, that push us over the hill.
Teammate Rydell Walker believes Laurent can be a weapon for this team as well. Rydell Walker is a senior in his second season with UNT, previously playing with Oklahoma State University and Texas Christian University.
Man, I call him Pogo. 6'10", athletic, bouncy, can do it all. Can guard the 1 through the 5, switch 1 through 5. Can play the 2 through the 5. He's a very versatile wing, athletic, great passer, and he's going to make us go this year for sure.
Coach Hodge and Mean Green basketball are hard at work, preparing for their November 5th debut against Evansville. We can't wait to see Brennan Laurent and Rydell Walker on the court this season. With ntTV, I'm Chris.
I think the Mean Green have a real shot in the American Conference this year. We hope to see UNT playing in March. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Christian. And thank you for watching ntTV News at noon.
Join us again tonight at 6 and tomorrow at noon here on North Texas Television.